Coming up, immigration policies in our own backyard. Hear from locals.
And later, we sit down for an exclusive interview with Iowa's athletic director.
One Hawkeye club team is working to become an official sport on campus. I'll tell you more in sports.
Pumpkin spice lattes, quarter zips, and crunchy leaves. It's about that time in Iowa City. Find out all about this 5-day fantastic forecast and weather.
All that and more coming up on this Tuesday, October 23rd edition of DITV.
Don't click away. It all starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Anthony Caligiuri alongside Becca Scadden.
Yes, Anthony, good morning. And this morning we start off on the latest of the death of Saudi Arabian journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Yesterday, President Donald Trump questioned Saudi officials regarding the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Aboard Air Force One, Trump said he had talked on the phone with both the Saudi crown prince and Turkish president, who would be in talks with more details on the matter in the next day or so. Trump is currently calling the death a plot gone awry. Khashoggi had visited the Saudi Arabian consulate in Istanbul earlier this month. The Saudi Arabian government originally denied the allegations that Khashoggi had died and used a body double to elude that Khashoggi was still alive. Later, officials admitted that Khashoggi was killed after a fight broke out inside the consulate.
National immigration policies are a hot topic that affect everyone involved. University of Iowa Center for Human Rights and College of Law gathered with members of the Mount Pleasant community last night to discuss immigration and more.
The University of Iowa Center for Human Rights and College of Law teamed up with members of the Mount Pleasant community last night to get serious about ICE raids and immigration policies.
ICE came to the town and raided a concrete factory, apprehended about 70 folks, and detained 32. They were serving one criminal warrant for one person, but ended up detaining several others. 24 have been released for immigration hearings to find out where they were in the citizenship process.
National immigration policies don't come with short-term damages. Immigrant families all over Iowa are suffering from the repercussions.
Our immigration system is totally broken, and we need to make some major changes in it. We have, in the Mount Pleasant area, we've experienced the whole process of an ICE raid and the impact that it has on families that have been living in our community for years.
So because of the raid, work permits were taken, or some had expired work permits, and they haven't been able to get new ones yet because they have to await their immigration hearings to be able to renew them. So they're not able to work. They're also not able to leave the country until those hearings happen.
Reporting to you from the University Capitol Center, I'm Kate Fazioli with DITV.
We apologize for those technical difficulties. A study led by a team of University of Iowa researchers are trying to determine what causes children to act out in aggression. The study led by assistant professor in psychological and brain sciences Isaac Peterson is looking at the role of brain waves in 2.5-year-olds to 3.5-year-olds. Researchers have so far found that toddlers with smaller spikes in brain waves are more likely to respond to stimuli in an aggressive way. The longitudinal study is going to track children's brain development to understand how development of the brain changes over time. Peterson said this study is looking at reactive aggression, but there are many variables to be explored. For more, you can read Charlie Peckman's story at dailyiowan.com.
Governor Kim Reynolds yesterday issued a disaster proclamation for 3 Iowa counties, Henry, Washington, and Muscatine, after the intense weather that took place earlier this month. The weather included severe winds, heavy rains, and damaging floods. The proclamation uses the Iowa Individual Assistance Grant program for residences who qualify. The grant program will provide up to $5,000 for households on the federal poverty level or families whose yearly income reaches $41,000. These grants are for home and car repairs, the replacement of clothing, food, and non-permanent housing expenses. The grant application instructions are available through the Iowa Department of Human Services website. And Becca, that weather yesterday kind of finally felt like fall, and it was pretty nice to have around.
Yeah, absolutely. Last week of October, and I'm hoping we're going to see some of those fall temperatures around campus coming pretty soon. We have Mackenzy Cooper in the weather studio with more.
Thanks, Becca and Anthony. That's right. We have seen awesome weather this past couple of days, and I hope that it keeps up. I'm guessing Iowa's successful homecoming week has some leftover bliss to graze our skies with, because this week's forecast is quite enjoyable, I must say. Starting off the week, we will see sunny skies today with a high of 54 degrees during the day, and at night we will transition to a cool 31 degrees with clear skies all throughout the night. Now let's take a look at the next fantastic 5 days. That's a tongue twister. Wednesday presents itself with mostly sunny skies during the day with temperatures in the mid-50s and concluding with the night with a cool mid-30s breeze. Next, we will see cloudy skies all day Thursday with temperatures in the low 50s and a breezy 38 degrees at night. Friday reignites some sun with mostly cloudy skies during the day and chilly mid-40s at night. Now, it would not be an Iowa City fashion if we did not have some rain to conclude the week. We will see showers Saturday during the day with temperatures in the low 50s, followed by a breezy 40-degree night. Well, I hope everyone goes out and enjoys the crisp air. Anthony and Becca, back to you.
Thanks, Mackenzy. University of Iowa student government is looking into different shuttle services to transport students from campus to the Eastern Iowa Airport during school breaks. Last year, UISG gathered $20,000 in funds for this free shuttle service. UISG is working with parking and transportation to decide which model for the shuttle service is best to use based on price. For the upcoming Thanksgiving break, there will be a temporary shuttle service on November 16th and 17th. The shuttle will depart between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. with final details being posted to the Parking and Transportation website 2 weeks in advance.
The Iowa City Police Department released data about the top 10 bars in downtown Iowa City that have the most drinking citations. In the city of Iowa City, those under the age of 21 have to leave the bars by 10 p.m. If an underage person stays in a bar or is caught with alcohol at any time, they'll be given a ticket. The list breaks down citations given within the last 12 months. The top 3 bars in Iowa City with the most underage drink tickets are the Summit with 65 visits and 72 citations, Union Bar with 69 visits and 42 citations, and Martini's with 45 visits and 42 citations. Minors caught at a bar for the first time will have to pay a $200 fine, and every citation after is a $500 fee.
Now, before we toss it over to Tanner in sports, last week the Daily Iowan met with UI Athletic Director Gary Barta to talk about a few upcoming initiatives, and we have DITV's Lucy Rohden in the newsroom with more. Lucy, good morning.
Hi, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
So, Lucy, now the University of Iowa's non-revenue teams have a grant success since changes have been made in the areas where it was most needed. Lucy, what did Barta say about the upcoming changes?
Barta really said that when to change a non-revenue sport, it's a long-term process. For example, let's look at the rowing program. 8 years ago, Barta decided to build the new boathouse for the rowing program, and it was a long uphill battle from there, but now rowing is ranked in the top 15 nationally. So when there's a program that Barta's a little concerned about their success level and how they're competing on the field, they do a full review of the program and look at the facilities, the budget, and the coaching staff, and then decide where changes need to be made.
Soccer's won 3 in a row, and field hockey's ranked 7th in the country, and football's 5-1. So it's intentional, and there are sports where we're not there yet. And so with those sports, we sit down and we do a full review of each sport, and we look at their facilities, we look at their budgets, we look at their coaching, we look at all the things that matter to make that program better.
But as we heard there, Barta really is impressed with where these facilities have gone. But a big part of this budget that goes into these athletic facilities also go into the university's general fund, as about $4 million will make its way to the university's general fund, which goes to reducing alcohol related incidents by improving non-alcohol programs, going to cultural houses on campus, improving hiring of minority staff, and sorry about that, and going to campus recreational centers, since there's such a close connection between the students and the CRWC.
Seems to make the most sense to me is we have a great partnership with recreational services for all student athletes. You know, we share some space in the Wellness Rec building where we have the pool. We share some space out at HTRC with the tennis courts, and so we're making some contributions to the general fund back for general student, not just student athlete, but student wellness and recreation.
And Lucy, before you go, Barta has been around for a long time. Do you think he has a timetable for the rest of his career, or has anyone in mind after he takes over?
Barta said he's going to be sticking in Iowa City for a while, hopefully. He did have some health issues last year with a scary cancer diagnosis, but he's back at full health now, and he said that even though he wants to stay in Iowa City for a while, he always has it in the back of his mind, and he calls it his bench strength. So he keeps in mind with senior leadership positions 2 or 3 people within the organization that could fill that role for him. So for example, when he did get sick last year, Barbara Burke came in and filled that role for him. So we should see Barta in Iowa City for quite a while, but he has options in mind.
But if something were to happen to me, I had some health issues last year, and Barbara Burke, our deputy athletic director, stepped in and she did a marvelous job. She's been an athletic director before. I hired her in that position partly because of that she has the experience of being a department leader. So you're constantly looking to make sure that you have bench strength.
Well, Barta is back in full health and should be in Iowa City for a while. But with more on what's going on in Hawkeye athletics, let's toss it over to Tanner in the sports studio. Tanner, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Lucy. It's nice to hear that Barta will be staying in Iowa City for the long haul. And you can look forward to another exciting season as Coach Bluter and the women's basketball team, as Megan Gustafson, was named the Big Ten preseason player of the year by both coaches and media members yesterday by the Big Ten front office. Last season, Megan was a consensus All-American and was voted Big Ten player of the year by the media. She led the nation in scoring and field goal percentage and ranked 3rd nationally in double-doubles and 5th in rebounds. Gustafson is only the 2nd player in the past decade to average more than 24 points and 12 rebounds a game in a single season. So needless to say, I'm really excited to see Megan back out on the court when Iowa opens up their season 2 weeks from today against Dakota Wesleyan. We heard from Athletic Director Gary Barta earlier in the show about the changes being made to the athletic department. DITV sports reporter Declan Levy has more on the program looking to transform into an official sport here at Iowa.
Hawkeye sports, rich in tradition, coveted for its success. From the football field to the ice rink, that's right, Iowa hockey is trending upwards as head coach Kevin Brooks is pushing for a spot in the American Collegiate Hockey Association Division I League.
Yeah, I mean, we're working right now with the university in different aspects, in the areas that we can right now. We've been hitting the pavement, working with some donors and alumni. Going to the D1 level, there's a lot more travel there that we're going to be doing, the funding, but I mean, we're recruiting elite players. The kids here today are creating that. They're the cornerstone for where this program's going. It's going to be a lot of fun for us to go out and have the ability to get, some of the best kids in the country to come be a Hawkeye.
Iowa currently plays its home games at the Coral Ridge Mall, a facility that won't cut it at the D1 level as 500 seats will need to be sold, but there are some nice aspects to it as well.
It's been unique to say the least. I can't say I've ever played in a mall before, but I mean, it's been fun, because some people will just be shopping and then they'll see that we're playing a game and they'll stop by, so it gets us, a couple extra, eyes watching, so that's kind of fun.
Coach Brooks emphasized how important the guys on the ice are today as they are creating the program of tomorrow, and with that comes new facilities.
It's really cool. These guys are going to be able to have their own facilities, their own locker rooms, a lot of cool stuff going on for them, hopefully for the younger guys, the freshmen and sophomores. And it'll even be cool for recruits, bringing in recruits to see even our new stadium. It's going to be great for the program. Even the University of Iowa, they'll be able to utilize it with different programs, even smaller men's league type hockey leagues, that sort of thing. So it'll be a great utility.
There's a buzz in the air surrounding the Iowa hockey program, and Brooks seems to be the right guy to lead the team to prominent success. Reporting from the Coral Ridge Ice Rink, Declan Levy, DITV Sport.
That's all I've got for you in the sports studio. Come back tomorrow to hear what to expect from field hockey as they prepare for the Big Ten tournament. Becca and Anthony, back to you.
And thanks for tuning into this morning edition of DITV. I'm Anthony Caligiuri.
And I'm Becca Scadden. Have a great day, Iowa City, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.